Hey guys, it's Stephanie with Festive Creations by Stephanie, and this video is going to show you how to make this gorgeous grapevine wreath for your next front door project, or maybe you want to make this to resell at your next craft show, to your neighbors, your friends, etc. But let me show you what you're going to get in this wreath kit. So in this wreath kit, we're going to start with an 18-inch grapevine, a beautiful full bush of dahlias in the cream colored. Aren't those gorgeous? You're going to get 2 of our mixed greenery, and that includes all the little branches. I love this greenery. It's all wired, very flexible. So you're going to get 2 of those. You're going to get the filler bush included with this, and all 3 rolls of ribbon. The 2.5-inch in the tan, the block in the mustard and browns, and look at the fun moss cheetah print. All of this is going to be included in your kit. Let's go see how to make this wreath. All right, guys. So this kit is, there's a link in the comments, and if you're on my text message system, you got a link in the text message. But this kit includes the 18-inch grapevine, all of the greenery that you see here, plus the dahlias, and all 3 of these ribbons. So we're going to have fun, and we're going to have fun putting this together. I know we will. I know we will, because you guys always motivate me when you come hang out. Actually, we're going to start with a bow. So I'm going to set these aside, and we're going to start with making our bow using the Easy Bow Maker. And for this, we're going to use a 2.5-inch. It's called tan, but it's kind of a brownish color, right? But not real dark brown. But so I guess tan is accurate. And this one's going to have a little bit of longer tails. Let me scoot down here a little bit for you. A little bit of longer tails. And we'll just start by making our first loop. Aw, thank you for the stars. And we're going to make about a 6-inch loop. 6-inch on each side. And our tail hanging down here. Give that a good twist. And for this one, I'm going to do 4 loops total. So 2 loops on each side. And we'll bring this down and create our tail. Now, because in this kit you get 10 yards of ribbon, guess what? You have plenty of ribbon for future bows. Never fear. Never fear. We're going to use this moss green. It's a cheetah print. Y'all, cheetah is still very, very popular. We're going to make a long tail, give it a twist, and we're going to make our next loop. And you'll notice on this one that I go just a little bit shorter than the previous loop. Daggone it, my comments aren't cooperating. Cynthia said, fall, I haven't even made it to spring yet. That's hilarious. All right, so we're going to do 3 loops. Yeah, we're going to do 3 loops on each side with the 1.5-inch cheetah. And I love this color, and of course the ribbon holds its shape so well. Do you guys notice a difference in ribbon, like compared to, well, we won't even put Dollar Tree ribbon in that mix. But compared to like Hobby Lobby, Joann, and buying from suppliers like myself, you know, the ribbon quality is so much better. So much better. Hey, everybody. Hello, hello, happy Monday. Don't forget to let me know where you guys are from, because I always enjoy hearing where everybody's at. All right, our third ribbon is this is actually got some mustard, some brown, some talisman. That little dark orange color is called talisman. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but hey, I call it talisman. I know how it's spelled. And this one, we're going to do 3 loops as well. And I'm going to go in a little bit shorter than the ribbon before. West Virginia in the house. Hey, Miss Denisha. Howdy. Howdy. So 1, 2, and 2 more. All right, and then we'll bring our tail down here. All right, so as you can see, my tails are a little bit longer. They're about 15 inches long. St. Louis, Missouri in the house. Howdy, neighbor. Miss Allison. All right, I'm going to cut a piece of floral wire way too long because that's what I do. And this is actually a 22 gauge wire. And I like to use the thicker gauge wire when I'm working with Grapevine so that it's easier to push through the Grapevine. Jackson, Missouri is in the house. That's 2 of you from Missouri tonight. Yolanda, good to see you. All right, I'm going to set that aside, but we're not totally done with that ribbon yet. So I'm going to kind of give this guy some shape, but you know, after we add him to the Grapevine, we're going to end up fooling around with him some more anyway, but we'll get him kind of in shape here. Better long than short, that's right. Long Creek, Illinois is in the house. What's up, girl? So guys, if you normally would go to my store to find this wreath kit, you're not going to see that there. This wreath kit is listed on Etsy. The link is up in the description on where you can get this wreath kit. And it is listed in my Etsy store. All right, now that we have our bow made, look at how the colors. So it's not super over the top fall, but it definitely can be used for fall. And I was trying to go for a look that could be just, you know, more of a neutral. But you can definitely see this as a fall, but it doesn't have to be exclusive fall. So we're going to set that aside. And yeah, that top ribbon is included in the kit. All right, our dahlias. Check this out. Let me turn my glue pot down just a smidge. So these dahlias are huge, and this is how many? 1, 2, 3, I think 7. 4, 5, 6. So this bush comes with 7 heads on the dahlias. And then again, we have the greenery and the filler bush. So let's take our grapevine. And we're going to start by adding our mixed greenery pick. So one of the things that I love about this pick is it's got such a good variety of colors in it, textures, and I love going for that look. And we don't have to do anything to it other than take off the tag, and we're going to shorten it up a little bit. So we don't need the big long tail on here for this wreath kit. And what I like to do is kind of position it where I'm going to go. And I think I'm going to put this guy a little more around the top. And then our second one, after we spread it out, because you know they're all smushed together when you get them, you kind of got to give it a little life. But everything's wired, so it moves very nicely. And this one is going to come near the bottom. So we kind of are right across from each other there. We can actually bring those in just a wee bit closer. I want to have my bow right in this general vicinity. That's what we're going for. So we don't need all this extra length. So I'm going to take my wire cutters and cut that off. And now we can add our first layer. That was my glue lid falling on the floor. So I'm just going to dip this end in the glue. Oh my goodness. And my glue got just a little warm. It's a little runny. And we're going to slide that in kind of at an angle, but it's not going to come out the other side. So it's just going in at an angle. Then we'll do the same thing with this one. And remember, I want my bow kind of in that area. And with it being wired, I can y'all hear Gary singing? He's in there playing with his new toy. So now we have our two. And we're going to start by taking apart some of this filler greenery. I'm not seeing comments. I lost your comments, y'all. I might have to go out and come back in again. Oh, that's better. How large is my wreath, Lois? It is 18 inches. This kit comes with an 18-inch wreath frame. And I'm just going to chop these all off. It comes with this greenery, the filler. And as you can tell, there's a lot of greenery here. And we're going to chop off. We're probably not going to use all of these dahlias. Remember, there's 7 of them here. And I don't necessarily. So I'm going to go with an odd number of either 3 or 5. Let's see. Let's start out with 3. And see where that takes us. You have to put your bow on before you add greenery. Everybody does it different. In fact, the bow's going to go on next. But I knew from a visual standpoint and just from doing this, you know, I do a lot of grapevines. It just works for me. Sometimes I don't even put the bow on until the very last thing. But he's definitely going on next. And we're going to fill in. Heather, UK is in the house. Hello, hello. Do you see how easy that slid in using that 22 gauge wire? It makes my life easy. Hey, James, I know I haven't seen you forever. I'm live every Monday at the same time, 7 p.m. Central. And I don't remember what time zone you're in, but yep. It's good to see you too. All right, so now I'm going to take some of our filler and we're going to start adding that in, and I'm going to actually, before I do that, I'm going to curl up my ends of my ribbon tails. George is in the house. Hey, hey, Donna. Curling up the ribbon tails just keeps it out of my way so I don't end up accidentally getting glue on it. It's me just trying to make my life easier. Have you ever dropped hot glue on a piece of ribbon? Then you got to wait for it to cool. Then you got to try and peel it off and hope that it doesn't take the coloring with it. Which I've never really had that problem unless it's been a really inexpensive, okay, let's just say cheap piece of ribbon. I've actually had it pull off the print on the ribbon. And then of course now I'm really screwed because it ruined the whole thing. All right, so now we can add some of this filler, and we're gonna go right in the center. And it's gonna come up a little bit over our stem on this one, but we're just gonna keep adding more. There's plenty of filler that comes with this kit to work with. But I wanted this to really show more because this has got such the variegated. So I wanted to see more of it. And then we're going to come up underneath it and we're going to integrate some so it looks like it's all cohesive. I know I'm missing some of your comments. Well, thank you, Teresa, for the stars. Y'all are so awesome. Let's do the same thing. Bring one up underneath here. And that way we've got this greenery kind of mixed in and it looks like it all belongs together. Now, one rule of thumb, when I do grapevines and I'm working with greenery, the filler greenery, I always save some for the end. Because when I take that step back or, you know, I get my final design done, I inevitably find some place that I'm like, has a bare hole or somewhere that I need to add a little something, something. And then I'm already out. So I always try to keep a piece back. And in this case, I've got a few pieces I'm going to keep back right now. And hey, Brenda, how are you? 2 resold and at least one more next month. Dee, I am so happy for you. All right. Let's add a little glue. And you'll notice the glue is kind of thick. I like it pretty thick, honey thick. And I'm going to bend this one a little forward. There's our first dahlia. Then we're going to take the second one and bring it down here. So I like to alternate. See how this one's kind of coming in? This one's going to be facing out a little bit. Hey, Miss Charlotte. So I'm kind of alternating this one inward, this one outward. And we're going to do the same thing up here. We're going to just bring this one, excuse me, guys. And we're going to bring it a little more inward. I know you can't see me adding my glue, but it's just a glue pot, I promise. And look at that already. Look at this already. I love, let me turn it this way so that you can kind of see the whole thing. But this is the top of it. This is the left side. And now I've got my smaller pieces or my extra pieces of greenery. And I'm going to fill in a few spots, but we're not done yet. We have ribbon to play with. Let's put some more over here. All right, so if I were to look at this from this side, this has a lot of greenery coming out the edge. This doesn't, so I'm just going to add a piece there. I love that, Dee. I love that. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing at the top, kind of coming out the side here. Go up under. And it's also good to even put your greenery, like I will touch the bow with it, and that helps stabilize your bow. So I'm gluing the greenery and the bow to the grapevine kind of all in one big swoop. And then I still have one more piece. So rather than let it go to waste, we're just going to find a spot to add that in. And I think that one looks like a good spot right in there. Right under here. And of course, these are all wired too, so you can bend them to do what you want them to do. Okay, so far so good. But remember our ribbon, we're actually going to take some of our ribbon and we're going to add some more ribbon to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few pieces. That's fine. I'll just throw them on the floor. 2 pieces. And we're going to measure these out. And I'm going to make these even longer. So I'm going to make these longer than my wreath. And I'm going to measure it so that it goes, so I can put it up underneath my bow. Now, most people don't own a pick machine, but if you have a pick machine, it comes in really handy for this. If you don't have a pick machine, you can actually accomplish the same thing by just wrapping wire around the ends of this and giving it something to grab onto. So if I took this wire and wrapped it around, and again, it's my 22 gauge wire, and I'm going to wrap it around. And now it's tied the ribbon together. Can y'all see that? Where I've tied it together. And now I can actually use, and I left a couple of inches on the edge of it, I can actually use this to now stick down into my grapevine. So I'm going to add some glue here. I'm actually going to use my glue gun for this. Otherwise, I may get glue everywhere. So I'm going to go down underneath my bow, stick it in the grapevine. I'm like, my head's probably in the way, isn't it? And now I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm going to give it a spot of glue and glue that to the grapevine. We're going to do that one more time. I'm going to measure out about the same amount. Doesn't have to be exact. If you have a pick machine, you can gather your edges here and take our pick machine, lay that in the pick, give it a good squeeze. And now I've got the pick already attached to it. Now I can just slide this into the grapevine. So I'm going to bring this one in just a little bit to the left of my first one. And since I have a more stable item, using my pick, I can actually use the glue from my pot instead of my glue gun. And I'm going to come in on the side. Right into that grapevine. Yay! See, this is why I don't worry about messing with the ribbon too much until I get close to the end. So now we've added extra tails. Let me see if this guy's dry yet. I think he still needs to cool. My glue gun, my glue gun gets very hot. And so it takes a little longer for that glue to cool. Let me just take a little bit from my glue pot. I'm going to give it just a little bit more reinforcement. And a string. All right, while that's cooling, I'm going to start unraveling here. And we're going to leave, I'm just going to leave a little bit of curl on the ends of the shorter ones. And of course, it's going to naturally curl because of the way I curled it up to begin with. There's my other one. I keep losing my comments, y'all. So if you're talking about me, I don't know it because my comments keep going away. Now this is where it gets fun, is I'm going to pull it towards me and give it a really nice little curl. And pull that puppy out. If you kind of pinch it as you're curling it up, it helps, it keeps its shape. I learned that little trick a couple of years ago watching a YouTube video when she was adding ribbon to a Christmas tree. And she showed how just pinching the ends of it will help it keep its shape as you're adding it to your tree. Okay, we're getting there. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Oops, not that one. I grabbed the wrong one. There we go. Hello, Miss Annette. Janet just picked up the kit. Awesome. You will like it. It is so much fun, and I love the colors in this. Can y'all hear Gary strumming his guitar? Thank you, Miss Teresa. So I'm going to grab that piece, bring it out. There we go. Hey, Miss Marcy, how are you? So this can, one of those things that I will list as an everyday wreath. It doesn't have to be specific to fall. I like to bring, this guy might come up just a little bit more. And you'll notice that, so methodically, on purpose, some of the ribbons just have the short curl on the end, and the other ones have the long curly cue. So again, it kind of gives it that different textured look. And I just want a short little end. We're layering this. So we've got different layers of ribbon. The longer ones that we added after we added our bow. And it really, really makes a nice little variance. And then, of course, if you wanted to, you could bring these all forward. Bring your bow or your flower off to the side and have your ribbon tails coming more straight down. It's going to be your personal preference how you want to position everything. But either way, it looks awesome. And look at all the different colors we have going on there. How many of you guys have used the cheetah print, any kind of ribbon in cheetah print? It's a lot of fun, and they've got, they're coming out with all kinds of colors for them. So I appreciate that very much so. So guys, there is our finished wreath kit. I'm turning it around so the whole thing will fit in the, well, here I can make this a little bit bigger. The whole thing will fit in the picture. There is our finished wreath kit. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love it. And I know somebody already said they haven't even got through spring yet. And here I am making a fall inspired wreath. I feel like what has happened is since so many people, since we didn't have any craft or vending shows last year, that people this year are really working ahead of the game. And that's why all the summer things have sold out so fast. So that's why all the spring stuff sold out so fast. And now fall is already flying off the shelf because they're getting ready. Last year, they're like, you know, if I create something, what am I going to do with it? It's going to sit around for a year. So this year, people are buying. I see people buying from the store a lot earlier than what they normally do. And other vendors that I've talked to that have an online store are seeing the same patterns and trends. So, yeah, fall is already coming out. I'm not going to do Christmas yet. Sorry. I know when I'm going to start Christmas, but it's not going to be now. We're going to work on these beautiful colors. How's that sound? And guess what? There's still 4 dahlias left. So if you want more florals in yours, you can do that, or you can save these for another project. With this wreath kit, you still have the dahlias left. You still have plenty of ribbon left on all 3 rolls of ribbon to go make another project. Go create and design, guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. I am so glad you did. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. And I'm going to go water some plants. I actually got plants planted this weekend. I'm so proud. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Be blessed and stay safe.